In this video, we're going to be going over how to find the volume of triangular prisms. So your objective will be for you to be able to say that you can find the volume of triangular prisms using what you know about rectangular prisms. Now, before we talk about volume or triangular prisms, I first want to talk about how we find area. It's important to remember that area measures the space inside of a 2D figure. So we have a rectangle here and a triangle, and if you notice they have the same dimensions, its height is 3 meters, and the width, or the base of the figure, is 8 meters. And I'm just going to give you this little visual to kind of see what that actually means. So we're looking for the spaces within this shape. As you can see, because the length is 3 meters, we have 1, 2, 3 blocks, and we have 8 rows, and our bottom from our base or our width, 8 rows of those 3-meter blocks. So in order to find area of a rectangle, what we usually do, or what most people have heard, is you always multiply length times width. So in this case, the area of the rectangle is going to be 3 meters times 4 meters, times 8 meters, and that's equal to 24 meters squared. Now with a triangle, if you remember, the area for a triangle is a little bit different. We don't usually call it length and width. Some people call it base and height. But still, it's measuring the same thing. It's the distance from the bottom, left to right, and the height of the figure up and down, which is the height. So the base is the bottom. It's the easiest way to remember it. And instead of just multiplying like we usually do for rectangles, we actually divide it by 2 since we have half the space. As you can see over here, this portion of our triangle is missing. You can even see that half of these blocks are also cut off as well. So if I want to find the area of this specific triangle, I'm going to do my base, which is 8 meters, times 3 meters, which is my height, and I'm going to divide that by 2. Now from before I know that 8 times 3 meters is 24 meters squared. If I divide 24 by 2, that gives me 12 meters squared. So next, I want to talk about volume. And you have to remember that volume is a measure of the space inside of a 3D figure. So here we have a rectangular prism, and here we have a triangular prism. And again, I'm going to give you this visual to kind of help you see what volume really represents. So from before, just like last time, these figures have a base or a width value of 8 meters, and the height for both of these figures is 3 meters, and then we also have another height of the prism. So in order to find the volume for a rectangular prism, you might remember that we always do length times width times height. So in this particular case, my length is 3 meters. My width is 8 meters. And my height of the actual prism is 4 meters. Now last time, to find the area, or actually, hold on, let me solve this first. So 3 times 4 is 24 meters, and 4 times 24 is going to give me 96 meters cubed. Because you can see we're multiplying 3 times 8, and then this answer times 4 gives us a cubed value. Now, just like last time, we're going to be doing something very similar. So the volume for our triangular prism is going to be the base, which is our bottom value, if you can see right over here. It's actually this 8 meters over here. So our base times the height of our triangle. We're still going to divide that by 2 because that's how we found the area of this triangle. But all we're going to do differently is we're going to multiply this by the height of our triangular prism, which is 4. So in this case, we're going to have 8 meters times 3 meters divided by 2 times the height of our figure, which is 4. So 8 times 3 is 24. I divide that by 2. I get 12 meters squared, just like I did last time. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that 12 meters squared we got from last time by that 4 meters. So our volume, 12 times 4, is going to be 48 meters cubed, which is actually half the size of our rectangular prism. Now, if you'd like, you can try these examples on your own. I'll pause the video for now, but I want you to find the volume and the volume for the rectangular prism and the volume for our triangular prism. All right, now that you've had some time to try these problems on your own, let's solve them together. So if you remember, the volume for a rectangular prism is length times width times height, as is, and our length is 6 inches here. Our width is 9 inches, and our height of our prism is 10 inches. So 6 times 9 is 72, and 72 times 10 is going to give me a volume of 720 inches to the third power cubed. Now, our triangular prism, which is half the size of our rectangular prism, is similar to that. So remember, we do base times height. Remember, this is lowercase, divided by 2, and then we multiply that by big H, which is the height of our prism. So what we'll have is our base of 9 times the height of the triangle is 6 inches, and we're going to divide that by 2, and then we're also going to multiply that by the height of our prism, which is 10 inches. So just like last time, we're going to do 6 times 9, which is going to give us 72, and then 72 divided by 2 is going to give us 36. 36 times 10 is 360 inches to the third power. And as you can actually see, that's half the size of our rectangular prism over here. If you have any other questions, always feel free to send me an email. Good luck on the homework.